Hey guys, I'm back. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry, busy yesterday, but two things. We're we're gonna be reacting to this, obviously, and then you should watch Daredevil and the Punisher. Okay, do it. And the movies from the older movies. You know, they're not as good, but they're still entertaining. Okay.
Oh, Vorsh. Vorshy, Vorshy, Vorsh. Darling, you
I wonder what you would have to say about him being a pedo.
shouldn't have 50 minutes all for me. You really know how to make. Shouldn't have 50 minutes.
I've seen this video before. Another British turf would mean to me. Vosh goes on to say that the accent is fake. So sorry, I had something in my throat. Does Vosh actually think she's British and putting on a fake British accent, or does he not think she's British? What's going on here?
It's all for me. You really know how to make a girl feel special. Though, darling, I will be honest, you could have been kinder and used a more flattering picture. You're not playing fair. That was a little naughty of you. It almost hurt my feelings.
If anyone makes an expression like this at the camera at any point, it's legally okay to be sexist toward.
Why? This is gonna be another one. It's gonna be another strange fucking person. For one, someone just annoyed? You're not allowed to be annoyed, Vosh, mouthwash. Why? I would like to know what's going on in your brain
towards them.
Oh,
I'd like you to develop it.
Stop. What are you like? You're making me blush already.
Gonna condescend to me? That's okay. I'm going to evoke several millennia of oppression against you.
What? What did they even mean?
That's fair.
I hear you, and fair enough. But let's not forget, I only condescended to you in the first.
Okay. He's going to bring up a bunch of oppression that has happened. I don't know the context of that video, but let's continue.
First place, after you patronized women as a collective.
Okay, I'm going to evoke.
I don't know much about Vosh immediately. I just know the pedophile stuff and that he's a political streamer, and he actually has quite nice hair in this video. He usually has a fucking weird ponytail, but he always wears the wife beater. You know, he doesn't try and look nice in the videos, which I try. You know.
Several millennia of oppression against you. That's fair.
I hear you, and fair enough. But let's not forget, I only condescended to you in the first place after you patronized women as a collective. Women be quieter and start apologizing.
See, that's actually sexist. How do you see that as okay? Why? It's actually something that they would say in the 50s or something. Like, women are better seen, not heard. You know, that's actually some 1940s male feminine type shit. You know?
Your precise words. It wasn't me who started with
yes. I already hate them.
Respect, but I suppose it's neither here nor there at this point. After your 50 minutes, we're definitely on pet names now. I'll call you darling, and you can call me what you like after that performance. Well, I say that. You've already taken the liberty. I believe bitch was your preferred term for me.
Shut up, bitch.
Not something kind of chosen for myself. But hey, whatever gets you going.
Stupid fucking bitch.
Yes, everybody, you
Those are some great arguments. You know, I don't.
might recall that in my Desecration of Femininity video,
No,
I gave
big
Vorsh
man.
a special mention, using him as an example of that particular kind of male feminist who is actually just a massive misogynist. So Vorsh, being an intelligent man, decided to do a response where
Again, how do people just how do people get so popular just getting away with saying this shit? I don't understand it. I need help.
disproved my point.
I'm going to evoke several millennia of oppression against you. Stupid fucking bitch.
Yeah, it was an interesting response, wasn't it, darling?
If he had trying to say she doing something wrong by invoking oppression or something like that, he's actually oppressing women by saying women should be quieter and apologize more. So,
In all seriousness, I do have to thank you for proving my point about you.
sorry for the police cars. There's apparently someone
So thoroughly.
doing a bad.
I don't think some people quite understood what I meant when I talked about how a big chunk of male feminists despise femininity and are often the most appalling towards women. Far worse than almost any conservative guy I've ever come across, genuinely. But you've so wonderfully demonstrated exactly the kind of behavior I was talking about. You see, ladies and gentlemen, what I touched on in my last scripted video was that particular type of man I've had the misfortune to run into a few times. Men like this, weak men, I suppose we could call them, lack the balls to just admit how they really feel about women. So they hide behind the label of feminist to be as sexist as they like, and then claim as a way to deflect.
You say that, then he's not hiding any of it, you know? It doesn't seem like he's hiding any of it.
Deflect criticism, but they're doing it all in the name of women's rights. You know, I can at least appreciate the honesty of the old school misogynist, but this new breed where they try to camouflage themselves as something else is so slimy and
to that point, I appreciate the porn star or the OnlyFans model more than the Twitch thought. You know, the woman that said she doing something completely innocent while having her tits out, you know? Oh, I'm just playing games, you know? Well, most of the screen is her tits, and there's a little corner of gameplay, you know? Or the girl doing, look, I'm doing Just Dance when it's a fucking YouTube video, and she's not actually doing any of the dances. I appreciate the honesty better, you know?
underhand that it's really quite difficult to stomach. I don't know about the rest of you, but I've always found it difficult to respect cowards. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am Galatea, and this is Acis, my dearly departed. And today, Vorsh has kindly volunteered to be the case study for why male feminists actually just really
Is Acis, apparently Acis like hentai a little bit too much. Aided brain.
really hate women. Oh, also he called me a groomer. So
I
there's
don't-
that.
Male feminists hate women. I don't like that. Not all male feminists. I believe I'm a male feminist. You know, I like to support men's rights and stuff like that, you know. Along with female rights, but you know, I don't have edge strong as a dog in that fight because I'm not a woman. So, but I don't like blanket statements like this. I'm sure she's gonna qualify, but a lot would be better. Maybe that wouldn't sound as good.
So just a quick little disclaimer before we begin. I'm not talking about your everyday guy who calls himself a feminist because he believes that women should have equal rights, okay? I'm really talking about the activist types. The ones who shout the loudest and tell women, you will be liberated, goddammit, even if I have to mistreat you in order to...
Okay, I completely agree with her. Okay. I figured I would, but I just, I'd rather a lot or qualify always in the beginning, but I guess it doesn't matter too much.
To do it, those guys. And this is not a video shitting on men either. This is definitely not the majority of men that I'm talking
shitting on the bad men. We like doing that.
about. But the rotten apples do exist, and most of them seem to be calling themselves feminists these days. So, disclaimer over.
Pedophiles. He wasn't. Well, he would have been a pedophile here. He just wasn't known.
Good. Let's get into the video.
Presumably, you're born a pedophile? Well, you're not a pedophile until, I guess when you start being a pedophile is when you turn 18. You're like, okay, I got older, but the age of people I like didn't, So I get that's when you become a pedophile. It'd be interesting to figure out why that happens. My theory is that, for the vast length of human history, people live to 30. If you were really rich, so it'd be understandable to date impregnate a 15-year-old being 20 or something like that, Because for one, you're not going to live long, and two, you need to raise your children, and they need to start working. They need to work. Continue the bloodline. Or the royal bloodline or whatever. I understand that, but I think we did that for so long that a part of it gets ingrained in our DNA, and you just can't get that. You want younger because that's how it works, or your brain thinks a younger person is more ideal for breeding. I don't know. I'm not trying to justify it, any of them, but trying to rationalize it. I don't know. I guess I just don't want them to just do it because, they want to hurt people. I want there to be a more logical reason. Well, more, a less evil reason, I guess. Something we can change. Because it does seem persistent, and it does seem to, you never know who's going to be one. It seems like you're born with it,
Vorsh, I know you're a very serious intellectual man, far too important to waste much time on a frivolous little thing like me. And by frivolous, I of course mean female, but don't you worry, we'll get to issues with women later. For now, Vorsh, your rebuttals to my points. What went wrong, my love? I didn't expect much from you, I will be honest, so I'm shocked that I actually still managed to be disappointed. That's what she said. I was expecting something a little more hard-hitting than, I'm faking my accent?
Her accent is such a performance. Oh, yeah. Her accent is 100% being put on for the sake of the video.
What would be the point of putting on the accent? I don't know. Why? Maybe she likes putting on the accent. I don't think it's a fake accent, but if it was a fake accent, maybe she liked the fake accent. Maybe she wanted to portray a character. What's wrong with portraying a character? Victor Von Doom. No, that one guy with the Rags, he portrays a character, he's a persona, stuff like that, If that was the case, what would be wrong with that? And even if she just wanted to just come off as British, what would that have to do with any of our arguments? You know, an accent doesn't. I don't know what she would have to gain from just using a fake accent.
Interesting angle, but I think we
If
can
it
work
was fake, I don't think it is.
with it. So, apparently Vorsh doesn't believe in English people. I think he thinks we're a myth. You know, like unicorns or mermaids or...
There are people that believe Australia's fake. Can you believe that? They don't think it's real. And then there are flat earthers. I don't know. People... A great Men in Black quote that I love. A person is dumb. Oh, a person is smart, but people are dumb, panicky animals. Because I don't think you come to the conclusion that the earth is flat or that any stuff like that on your own. You have to be taught that,
honest male feminists. So, a bit of background, because apparently you need it. Far across the ocean, there's a place called Britain. You might have heard of us. We used to be quite big fish back in the day, did a lot of noteworthy things, big impact on world events. Actually quite an important place in terms of...
Yeah, they were quite big, quite important. You could say.
Your own country's history. You should really look into it. And in Britain, there's a place called England. And in England, some people talk like this. Crazy, I know.
Yeah, I don't think she would sound like this if you talked to her like casually in real life.
Okay, so I can tell you're still not getting it. For reference, here are some other British people you might have come across.
I have seen a video on this guy, but
I'm not like a voice expert, so I don't know for sure, but something about it feels like...
I didn't want to have to play this card, but you brought it up. So if we're going there, I do have to point out that out of the two of us, I speak English with the correct pronunciation. It's our language. We make the rules. You're the one with the stupid accent, not me, you cheeky yank.
I love Americans. You're beautiful people. Yeah? You're simple folk, aren't you?
I jest. Obviously, Vorsh knows about Britain because he seems to really hate us.
Jesus. Yeah, thank you.
He hates the British almost as much as he hates women, so I am two of his least favourite things.
We do, in fact, hate British women.
See, no one...
Why? What's wrong with British women? I don't know. I mean, maybe 200 years ago, there would have been a lot wrong with British women, but not intrinsically anything wrong with British women. I would like to know what goes on in his brain.
Knowing how much Vorsh despises my people only makes me want to be even more British. I can feel it. I can feel it rising up. Suddenly I have the urge to go to America and stick a Union Jack in the soil. Go to a 4th of July celebration dressed as St. George, or to an American football game and start shouting that it's just rugby for pussies. Loudly sing Rule Britannia during the national anthem, that sort of thing. God, I didn't know I had it in me, but suddenly that old invader spirit it's possessing me. The British are coming. The British are coming.
Audition for the next Bond film.
Does this person think they're in James Bond? The Authentic Observer does sound like the kind of video title.
007.
I don't know what name had to do with it. It could the name of something could imply what she is trying to do. She's trying to observe things authentically with no biases, or as few biases as possible. Authentically look at something and try to discern what something is. And I would say, at least from her last video, tell me in the comment that she succeeded.
7. I've been expecting you. I liked that. That felt fun. Thank you, Vorsh. I have to incorporate that into my intro. God, he's full of good ideas, isn't he? We meet again, Mr. Bond. Oh, no, sorry. I'm doing your bit, aren't I? I'll be James Bond. You be the villain. Come on, Vorsh. Let's do a bit of role play. Cheeky. Grab a cat. I know you have a cat. I've seen the cat. There's a cat. Of course. Of course he's a bloody cat person. Of course he is. Typical. Grab a cat. Grab your cat though.
Grab him by the pussy.
Do the whole
Grab
shebang.
the-
Go on, have a cheeky spin on your chair. Hit us with the. I've been
I forgot some of this video, a lot of it, but we were thinking the same thing there.
expecting you. Go on, you know you want to. It's tiring work telling women to shut up on Twitter all day. Let your hair down for once, love. You deserve it. Ooh, put on an accent too. Let's see if your fake English accent is better than my fake English accent, and people can judge who wins in the comments. And also,
I can do fake English accent. I can't, and it sounds horrible. So I'm not going to do that.
seriousness. Please, can you actually do it, Wash? Humour me. Do the chest spin. I'll beg if you want me to. Please.
People said I was crazy to do this. Just a surf coach who wanted to shake up the sunglass industry. I wanted something different.
No offense to him, but he really wanted sunglasses to sound cool. Maybe I just don't like sunglasses. Vosh doesn't get I'm playing a character. Yeah, she's good.
That is such a practice gesture. Like, I'm gonna slow this down.
That's it. The game's up. I didn't want to have to tell you guys this, but I do in fact script my videos. I know.
How can you be? I mean, she obviously looks at her notes or whatever she has.
This is news to everyone.
Like, it's a very, very, very practice gesture.
This persona isn't even truly me. I try so hard to hide it, but you can't fool Detective Vorsh. He's too clever for that.
You can like break it down. There were like 3 lip curls, like 2 distinct head shakes. Like,
He knew something fishy was going on, and he put together those clues to see through.
Again, I'd like to know.
My clever disguise.
Captain Shab. I deserve it.
He's lying. He's Count Olaf.
These aren't even real glasses. It's like at the end of Scooby-Doo when the villain is unmasked.
Just as we thought.
And I would have gotten away with it too. Impressive detective work, Walshy. Well done, mate. Can't pull one over on you.
Why would someone want to be sexually harassed? For one, if you want to be sexually harassed, harassing is something involuntary. So if you want it to happen to you, it wouldn't be harassing anymore because you want it to happen. Does he say this?
So I'm sorry if my points have seemed childish so far, but a good chunk of Vorsh's arguments being a generous word, involve picking apart my accent, my appearance, my outfit, and my persona. You know, all the things 12-year-old girls go for when they're feeling particularly bitchy. So it's difficult to be serious when I'm not given anything serious to work with. And then, because apparently he really wanted to prove my point about male feminists, he said this.
She's a pick-me. No wonder she's dressed like this.
What? I don't know what a pick-me is. I assume it had to do with women. Okay. Pick me girl, meaning, okay. Pick me girl. Plural, pick me girls. Originally African American, vernacular, derogatory. A woman who asserts that she is unlike and sometimes better than most other women in order to gain attention, approval, validation from men. No, that's definitely not Pearl. I mean, that is Pearl. It seems like it is Pearl, but that's definitely not the observer here. No, if anything, I think some men might dislike her because she, again, disagrees with people like Pearl and Walsh, which apparently a lot of men like them. and Andrew Tate and Candace Owens, which a lot of men like them. So I think if she could be doing more, she could be doing a lot more to make men like her. Like wearing more low-cut shirts, stuff like that. If she's trying to do that, she's going the wrong way about it.
She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings. She just wants.
What's wrong wearing a skirt? She's not showing anything. What's wrong with stockings? They show less, you know? And if you were able to see up there, they're black, so you wouldn't even be able to see anything, you know? Because it would make it look even darker. What's wrong with this skirt? I wonder what Vosh thinks of girls that wear miniskirts, because that skirt is actually quite long, quite modest. You know, it's something you would wear at the office or something like that. It's not bad.
Just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed by like the fucking.
For one, you can't. Things are harassment is involuntary. So if she wanted to be harassed, if she wanted to have the attention of men, she would want to. It wouldn't be harassment. She would be looking for their attention, you know? So it'd be a different word, but I don't know what that word is. So it wouldn't be harassment. But even if she did, she would wear something completely different, you know? She doesn't look trashy. She looks quite modest. She looks nothing wrong with the way she looks.
The Office Boys.
I'm sorry? I beg your pardon, sir. What was that? What do I want?
She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed.
Yes, Bosch. You caught me. I just want to be sexually harassed. It's obvious from how I'm dressed. That's all I want. I'm a bit of a slut.
Again, even in this video, she's showing less, you know?
Wanted advances.
No wonder she's dressed like this.
I can't believe I have the nerve. It's obscene. I'm practically flaunting myself with these nylons and this.
You know, this dress, take out this blue part, it might actually show a bit of side boob. So if she wanted to come on, if she wanted to be a pick-me, all she would have to do is wear this, hike up this a little. But she wore a blue and wore this all the way down, you know?
This skirt.
She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings.
Honestly, with these nylons and this skirt.
She's wearing a fucking.
It doesn't even show anything. Look. It doesn't even show anything. If she were bend over, yes, but that's, you know, she wouldn't be doing that on purpose, you know, and the camera angle doesn't suggest anything. Like if she put her legs down, right, and spread them open, you wouldn't be able to see anything. Even if she tried from the camera angle to do anything, she would really have to try. So Vosh, I think he just doesn't like women.
Fucking skirt with stockings.
Honestly, how dare I? Going around dressed like the whore I am. I'm just inviting trouble. I'm asking for it. I obviously want it. I'm begging for it.
Like, you know, like just the short skirt plus like the stockings and so on.
Experience medieval times, a world of excitement, adventure, and wonder. It's the perfect.
I'll tell you something else about me.
Vosh. Vosh, I know you hate women, but you don't have to dress like you beat them.
Stockings and so on.
I'll tell you something else about me while we're on the topic. I found going through puberty so horrific and disgusting and shameful that for years afterwards I could hardly stand to be touched.
This is something interesting. I remember this from this video. This is interesting. I would like to have a conversation with the observer. I'll leave a comment on this video. In fact, comment on the next video too. Sorry, I'm used to autocorrect on my phone. Diff. It's so different. Fuck it, I don't care. Experiences. Oh, okay. I need another E. X, P. Sorry about that. E-N. Okay, let's continue.
Even by members of my own family. I don't know why I was especially sensitive to this. I have no idea. I was, though. And for a long time, my littlest sister was the only person I could bear to hug. It was quite an issue. Made all that.
See, me and her had completely different experiences. It was just another day for me. My voice didn't crack. Nothing really happened. I guess my voice cracked once. It did. Nothing else really happened. It was. I'd have to ask my other friends what it was like. But I've been told women go through a couple of different puberties. And I would like to have a conversation with her, or one of my female friends. Or my girlfriend doesn't want to go on it. Doesn't want to do YouTube stuff. She's too nervous. But yeah, I would like to have a conversation with her. It'd be interesting. Fuck.
All that sexual harassment that happened as a teenager fuck with my head more than was reasonable, I think. And then there was that one time with a boy when things went a little further.
The very unfortunate thing is that now I think people would think she would have been trans and, stuff. Possibly if she had worse parents, parents would have thought she would have been trans. Or unfortunate thing, parents are just turning kids trans, even if they're not, and they're just having trouble going through puberty. Or the word that's fucked up now, I'm telling you.
Than just some playful sexual harassment, which of course only made everything worse. And then what used to happen to me when I was with a guy is that sometimes I would freeze up and not be able to move. And in my head, there'd just be this loud, blind panic going around and around and around, but I couldn't even make myself speak. So what I used to do in my teens and early 20s to deal with that was get so blind drunk that I felt completely disconnected from my body. And sometimes I had to do that to even be able to kiss a guy. But often not even the alcohol would stop the freezing up and the disgust and the panic. And then, of course, there was how sick I felt after someone touched me, even if I wanted them to. But yes.
That's horrible. Like, I wonder how many women go through that. Imagine how vulnerable you must feel. Like, imagine, jeez. That's part of the reason I'm glad I'm a man. There's a lot of dangerous people out there, and there's some really wonder how many people just get taken advantage of just going through puberty and not understanding it. Jeez.
Yes, Vorsh, you're right. I just want to be sexually harassed like the stupid bitch I am.
Stupid fucking bitch.
Maybe I should feel bad throwing all that at you after what was just a clumsy, shitty comment on your part. But I don't, because a main topic of the video you reacted to was about how suddenly being sexualized is so stressful and confusing as a teenage girl, how it made my skin crawl with disgust at my own body and made puberty really quite traumatic for myself and indeed many teenage girls, and then learning how to balance the hatred of that with wanting to celebrate femininity and beauty, with wanting to be attractive and not wanting to hide away. But you wouldn't know that because in all your blinding arrogance, you barely watched more than 5 minutes of the video before deciding you could somehow speak on it and all my opinions. So actually, I think you deserved that. The other reason I don't feel bad for everything I just said is because I think your comment actually reveals a lot about you and your feelings and opinions towards women, female sexuality, and femininity.
She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed.
Vorsh, okay, can you see why I think you and a lot of far-left blokes are genuine misogynists? Can you see how you're coming across? Because I'll tell you how I'm reading this. I make a video saying there is strength and power in femininity, And your response is to imply that because I value femininity, I don't respect myself and must be nothing more than a dumb slut.
Yeah, that logic. Again, I would like to know what's going through her brain, because why wouldn't a woman value femininity? You know, as a man, I value masculinity. You know, because I'm a man. I value
Slut who must want to be sexually harassed and degraded by men. I don't think that's an unfair interpretation of your attitude. I really don't. Seriously, how else am I supposed to read that? What else could you have possibly meant by that? Please explain. This just shows how little respect you have for femininity, which is quite sad, really. Vorsh, I'm going to explain something to you. And I know you don't like me, understatement, but separate it out for a minute and listen to what I'm saying, because there are a lot of women who agree with me, so do them the courtesy of listening for their sake, not mine. Believing that women don't need to be like men in order to have value, and believing it's okay for women to embrace being feminine, does not make me or other women stupid bimbos who only want to be sexualized and are too stupid to see their own exploitation. Femininity does not equal weakness, stupidity, or a desire to be degraded, no matter how much you might believe it does, Vorsh.
I don't have a lot to add to that. I agree with all of that.
It doesn't mean we want it really. It doesn't mean we're looking to be harassed. And it certainly doesn't mean that all we want to do is serve men, no matter how much you might wish that was true.
Again, I don't know how people get popular when they talk about, just actively being incredibly misogynistic like this. I would like to know what people think when they hear Vorsh talk, because there are things I'm not going to learn about the world that I'm going to regret not learning. That's all I'm going to say.
My brother and my sister's boyfriend are fairly conservative leaning, the kind of guys Vorsh would probably call misogynists, and I've never seen them look so shocked as when they'd heard he'd said that. My sister's boyfriend's jaw hit the floor. He didn't shut his mouth for a while. His reaction was actually quite funny. But because they don't hate women, and they would never dream of saying anything like that to a woman, no matter how much they disliked her.
I don't think, again, I don't think either any of the sides are inherently bad, but when you hear, like, when all the popular ones talk like this, Hassan, Vorsh, and then on the other side, Pearl, Tate, it's understandable if you're like a layman to think, oh, this side, they're all horrible, because the popular ones talk about all the stuff in the worst way possible. It's understandable to think each side is bad if you're just a layman.
Wanted to be sexually harassed because of what she was wearing or her opinions. And according to Vorsh's worldview, they're supposed to be the sexist ones. They truly could not get their heads around how someone claiming to stand for women's rights could say something like that. I didn't find it that surprising, because I've met men like this before, who claim to be feminists, but who really don't think much of women. I think there's a lot of disdain for femininity on the left, and I don't want to be harsh, but I find guys who have those sort of feelings towards femininity to be sorry excuses for men. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being completely serious here.
I'll tell you this much. I'm definitely not trans at all, anything like that. But I, like, my previous girlfriends, they were like, "Yeah, put makeup on you." They were like, "Yeah, because I think that kind of stuff is fun, But would a Vorsh think I was weaker for doing that with my girlfriend? Just doing funny things, I don't know.
It's simultaneously aggressive and pathetic, and being around it feels, well, whatever the opposite of safe is, ill at ease. You can sense the disdain for you rolling off them. You just can. You can feel this really nasty, angry undercurrent, and it's never surprising when they reveal themselves.
Shut up, bitch.
You want to have a conversation about toxic masculinity? I see it again and again in male feminists. For whatever my opinion is worth, in the simplest terms, from a female perspective, I would say that positive masculinity makes you feel safe, and toxic masculinity makes you feel threatened. I'm wearing my old school skirt there, by the way, in that video. It looks a little shorter than it is because of the angle of this armchair. It kind of goes back a bit. But you see schoolgirls all over the country wearing skirts like that with those exact kind of tights, these exact kind of tights. And teen girls are notorious
I
for
didn't know
rolling
she
up
was wearing tights in this video.
their school skirts to be shorter,
Yeah,
to make
you
them
can see
fashionable and
that. Okay.
trendy. So I'm just wondering if 13-year-old girls also want to be sexually harassed when they're in their school uniforms. What?
That's funny because well, she's a pedophile. You're looking at Lolly.
Genuine question. The ridiculous thing is,
Also, he said that grown men should be able to have sex with children. So, you know.
I'm not even dressed that
Come at me, Bosch, because you said it yourself. So you're a pedophile, Bosch.
revealingly, unless you're an insanely conservative fundamentalist Christian. I don't like. It's really not that inappropriate. I'm wearing the same thing millions of women who work in an office would wear. You could wear what I'm wearing in a professional scenario, and it wouldn't be seen as wildly inappropriate.
I'll be right back.
All you professional ladies better make sure your skirts are down to your ankles, otherwise you want to be sexually harassed in the workplace. That's what Vorsh says, because apparently Vorsh is a caricature of a 1970s misogynist.
She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed by like the fucking The Office boys.
I had no idea you had such Puritan sensibilities, Vorsh. How very conservative of you.
So typical of your kind to twist the truth, to cloud the mind with unholy thoughts.
Vorsh confirmed fundamentalist Christian.
She was a whore anyway.
New member of the Westboro Baptist Church. What I'm wearing will send me to hell like the whore I am.
You really kind of have to think about what a whore is.
Now that would be a plot twist. Vorsh joins the Westboro Baptist Church. I'd love it if things went that way. That would be a hilarious end to the story.
If you wear a dress that's strapless with a brassiere that isn't, you might be a slut.
Go on, Vorsh. Join them for a laugh. See if they let you in. Double dare you. I'll do it if you do. Who would they hate more, you or me? Now that's an interesting question. You're a far left nutter, but I wear short skirts and I'm into crystals. Who's more damned? Okay, tangent. Sorry, Vorshi, I'm forgetting my manners. Let's get back to the video. Where were we? Oh yes, inappropriate attire. Hang on while I've got you here. I've got a bit of a list. Yeah? I'm ready to learn, Vorsh.
When the sawdust settles and the engine roars, the thing you care about is the job well done. But when you get your...
I'm ready to be educated. You teach me how I can be a strong, truly strong, empowered woman. How do I throw off the shackles of the patriarchy, Vorsh? You know, because you're so good at that. We'll go through this. You tell me how I'd be a good little feminist. So my list, shorts. What do we think about how short? What do you think about shorts? What's the verdict on shorts? They do show off a lot of leg shorts. Am I asking to be sexually harassed if I'm wearing the shorts?
You really kind of have to think about what a whore is.
And low cut tops? What about low cut tops? Am I a slut who deserves it if I'm wearing a low cut top? What about this one? But you can see a bit of clavicle in this one. Now that's very sexual, the clavicle. No man. Man can control himself when he sees a bit of clavicle. Ooh, very spicy.
She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings.
And the yoga leggings, that's the next thing. What are we thinking? What do we think of the yoga? No, they're very tight, the yoga leggings. Should I maybe stay away from the yoga leggings if I don't want to be assaulted? Would that be your professional advice? What about swimsuit? I see several problems here with the swimsuit. Yeah, I know, I see what you mean. If that's too provocative, next time I go swimming, I could just go full wetsuit. In fact, actually, if you could just send over a list, that'd be great, love. Just send me a list, yeah, of all the Vorsh approved female garments that are appropriate to wear. That would be really helpful. Or, sorry, a sheet. Okay. If that would make you feel less filled with irrational rage, darling, I could just wear a sheet and be done with it.
Stupid fucking bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vorsh, but I mean, really, you deserved me messing around like that. You deserve to be wound up for that. Don't be so bloody ridiculous.
No wonder she's dressed like this. She's wearing a fucking skirt with stockings. She just wants to live in Mad Men and be sexually harassed by like the office boys.
Behold, a feminist, noble defender of women's rights to dignity, safety, and autonomy. Over their own bodies. Well, as long as you agree with him. If there was ever a case for tyrannical toxic masculinity, submit to Vorsh's worldview, or the rules of feminism need not apply. You're probably just a slut who wants to be sexually harassed anyway. Right, Vorsh. Vorsh. Come
end stream.